You ever notice how she was obsessed with you at first? Texting you non-stop, excited to see you, calling you different. Then suddenly, the energy shifts. She pulls away, gets distant, and you're left wondering what changed. Here's the truth. She didn't lose interest because of another man. She lost interest because of you. Because somewhere along the line, you stopped being a man she could feel drawn to. Let's talk about that. Most men don't lose women because they're bad people. They lose them because they forget what made her attracted in the first place. They start chasing, explaining, proving, instead of leading. See, attraction isn't built on how much attention you give her. It's built on the feeling you create when you're around her. And that feeling comes from presence, certainty, and control. When you lose that, when you become too available, too emotional, too reactive, she feels it instantly. Because women are wired to sense energy before words. It's not about what you say, it's about what your energy reveals. 1. You start seeking validation instead of living in purpose. At the beginning, you had purpose. You had your own rhythm, your own mission. She saw that and admired it. But once you start dating her, you shift your focus. You stop living for yourself and start living for her approval. Every text, every call, every emoji becomes a test in your mind. Did she like what I said? Why hasn't she replied yet? Did I say something wrong? That's the moment attraction dies. Because masculine energy is directional. It moves forward with conviction, not in circles of overthinking. When you seek her validation, you become emotionally dependent. You hand her your frame, your sense of stability. And the moment she feels that, she subconsciously pulls back. Why? Because she can't trust a man who's controlled by her reactions. She wants a man who's anchored, even when she tests him. So if you feel her pulling away, don't chase. Return to your mission. Recenter your energy. Because women don't fall for the man who needs her. They fall for the man who doesn't lose himself around her. 2. You overexpress emotion without balance. Let's be clear. Stoicism doesn't mean being cold. It means having control. It means being emotionally intelligent enough to feel everything, but not be ruled by anything. At first, you had that balance. You laughed, you had confidence, you had calm energy. But when fear enters the picture, fear of losing her, you start doing too much. You overshare. You talk about your feelings every day. You turn every disagreement into a therapy session. And while vulnerability has its place, too much emotional exposure too soon kills the polarity. Because she starts to feel like the stronger one emotionally. And when she feels that, she subconsciously stops seeing you as the man she can lean on. Women crave connection, but they crave stability more. When you're calm, grounded, and collected, you make her feel safe. When you overexpress and spiral, she feels like she's dating uncertainty. And that's not love, that's pressure. Remember this, your emotions are powerful tools, but they lose power when you hand them out without balance. Master your state, and she'll feel magnetized by your calm. 5. You start competing for her time instead of commanding respect. Most men think they need to do more to keep her interest, buy more gifts, send more texts, be more available. But the truth is, the moment you start competing for her time, you've already lost your place as the prize. A woman wants to feel chosen by a man who chooses himself first. She wants to feel that your time is valuable, that your attention means something, that being with you is earned, not taken for granted. If she texts late, you don't need to respond instantly. If she cancels plans, you don't beg to reschedule. Because a grounded man doesn't chase, he decides. When she senses you've lost that sense of value, she starts to test you. She gives you less attention just to see what you'll do. And if you react emotionally, if you start proving your worth, she confirms her suspicion. You were never truly secure. The men who hold their frame don't lose women, because women can feel when a man knows he's enough. 5. You stop being mysterious. At the start, you had an edge. She couldn't quite figure you out. You had layers, mystery, challenge, curiosity. But over time, you told her everything. Every insecurity, every thought, every plan. You gave her the full map, and she stopped feeling the thrill of discovery. Men forget this. Mystery isn't about hiding things. It's about not needing to reveal everything. You can love deeply and still be unreadable. You can be present and still unpredictable. A man loses his power when he becomes an open book, because there's no longer a sense of wonder. So, stop oversharing. Let your actions speak more than your words. Let her feel your depth through your silence, not your constant storytelling. Remember, attraction thrives in curiosity. Once she can predict everything you'll say or do, she stops feeling alive around you. Don't stop evolving. Not for her, not for anyone. The man who keeps sharpening himself never loses value, no matter who walks away.
You don't have to prove you're enough. Just never stop becoming more than you were yesterday. Do not lead. A man's leadership is not about control, it's about direction. Women lose interest when they feel they have to lead the relationship themselves. When they have to plan everything, initiate everything, or emotionally stabilize you. Because deep down, she doesn't want to be the captain. She wants to trust the captain. Leadership isn't loud. It's calm. It's the ability to decide, act, and take responsibility. When you stop leading, when you become indecisive, passive, or unsure, she starts questioning your strength. Not because she wants to dominate you, but because she needs to feel safe in your certainty. Be decisive. Take charge. Lead with calm confidence. When she feels that, she relaxes. When she doesn't, she withdraws. 7. You lose your center. At the core of every man's strength is his center. Your center is your emotional foundation, your ability to stay still when everything else moves. When you're centered, you don't overreact to her mood swings. You don't panic when she becomes distant. You don't lose sleep because she didn't text back. You stay calm, observant, steady. And that calm energy is intoxicating because it communicates power. It tells her, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm also not chasing. Women lose interest fast when they feel you've lost your center, because if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead the relationship. Return to your stillness. Return to your frame. Because no woman wants to build a home in a man who's lost his peace. I once heard a man say, "She pulled away after I gave her everything." And I told him, that's the problem. You gave her everything but yourself. Because the truth is, you can give her attention, gifts, love, time. But if you give away your self-respect in the process, you give her nothing of value. She doesn't want perfection. She wants a man who remains himself no matter what happens. That's rare today. That's masculine. That's powerful. So if she's losing interest, don't panic. Don't beg. Don't chase. Instead, pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, where did I stop being grounded in myself? Because when you return to your purpose, your discipline, your calm energy, you become magnetic again. Not because you're trying to impress her, but because you've returned to what made you powerful in the first place. She may come back. She may not. But either way, you win. Because you didn't lose yourself trying to keep someone else. That's the essence of Stoicism. That's the essence of masculinity. And that's the kind of strength no one can walk away from. If this message hit deep, drop a thought in the comments. Remember, control yourself, not others. That's real power. Subscribe for more Stoic lessons on strength, masculinity, and emotional mastery. Stay disciplined, stay calm, stay dangerous. This is Stoic mentality.